Greetings, true believers. Matt Hall here with a Hidden Machine update video. It's been a long time since I did one. I've been very busy. I'm still busy today, but I thought I would do a couple things I got to do and talk at the same time with this lav mic. Now, this is not as nice of a setup as I usually have for a video, but I'm so busy right now. It's a busy, busy time for me. I'm feeling like I'm kind of under the gun. So, off the rip, I want to share some stuff I got, but also, I guess the big thing is, for the last year, I've been working on a video about Ed Logg, the programmer who made Asteroids, Gauntlet, Centipede, Millipede, Zybots, many more games, involved in so many amazing games at such a crucial level. That project took so long, and it took so much out of me. But I'm glad it's done. The views, modest, but it's getting good feedback from people. And I know it's kind of like hardcore nerd niche kind of content. So I don't have any delusions about it popping off. But I would say if you're someone who is interested in video game history and you haven't seen it, I would say check it out. So the other thing I'm working on a lot is my game that I've mentioned a few times. I don't think I've even given the title yet. I've been trying to kind of keep a lot of the details under wraps. Well, it just, you know, because it's all subject to change. It's so early. And also I don't want to like show too much about something that isn't anywhere near ready to be shown in a more revealing way. The demo, or a demo, needs to be released by the middle of June or so to satisfy the terms of a small grant that I received, you know, to help funding on the initial phase of this project. And what that grant covered was basically, you know, a small game that could be used as a sort of jumping off point for a bigger game and to kind of get my foot in the door in terms of like development and getting into making games. What does that, you know, what does that look like for little old me? And that version of the game that's going to come out is more like a proof of concept kind of thing. It's not going to be what I would call like the big public demo that I would put in like the Next Fest and like try to, you know, have people play the demo. This is like more on a playtest level, more on a exhibition, art exhibit kind of what I'm trying to say. It's supposed to just be like a little piece you come and check out. It's just, you know, in terms of like the gamer audience, it's not feature complete. You know, there's so much more that we'll be accomplishing with this game that the demo, this initial demo in June in the summer, just won't reflect. And that's okay. Things are going really well though. However, I need money. And so that's one thing I've been doing is, well, I've been spending money. And here's some things I spent some money on recently. Not too much. Rock the Bells. So this is like a documentary, 12,000 fans, 20 cameras, 7 acts, 1 day, and an impossible mission to reunite the Wu-Tang Clan. Featuring performances by Redman, Dilated People, Sage Francis, MC Supernatural, and Haj, Charlie Tuna, and DJ Newmark, Idea and Abilities. I've never seen this. This looks very cool. And that was like $1. $1.50 here. Most of these were. Best of X Division, Beef 4, IV is 4, right? The hip hop beef documentary series. My wife and I were just talking about how we have to rewatch Some Kind of Monster. Well, here's the 2-disc special edition slipcase. Wow, slipcase. Features 40 additional scenes. I think it said 10 hours of Metallica on here. So I do love the first 3 or 4 Metallica records. Each one I love a little bit less. But this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Some of the most out of touch, lunatic behavior I've ever seen, and I'm just fascinated by it. Crazy guys. I guess, you know, I think it is, they're just kids who got too rich too young. More TNA, Best of X Division, TNA Lockdown. It's not, these aren't showing very well. And Best of TNA 2007. Now, if you don't know, this is not like tits and ass, it's total nonstop wrestling, although the name was meant to initially evoke amorous imagery. So yeah, Kurt Angle versus Sting. I've never seen that match. That sounds awesome. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles versus Christian Cage versus Chris Harris. This one, Kurt Angle, Sting, Samoa Joe, Rhino, and Jeff Jarrett versus Christian Cage, AJ Styles, Scott Steiner, Abyss, and Tomko. I don't know Tomko. Oh man, I see Bob Backlund in here. I missed all this TNA stuff. I don't see Bob Backlund's name listed, but I see a photo of him. Or is it just a guy dressed like him? Well, I'll find out when I watch it. But I've amassed a huge TNA collection. Somebody locally was buying all the DVDs and then has been, putting them in a local thrift shop where I bought like 30 of them. I got Drew's All-Star Sports Jams. This is like royalty-free covers of songs, basically, to like play at your parties or, events where maybe you don't have the rights to the original recordings, I think. It's like a step up from like a karaoke backing track. Fly Away by Lenny Kravitz, Mambo No. 5, All-Star, Smash Mouth. Everybody, Backstreet's Back. Oh, Welcome to the Jungle, that's a funny one. Tub Thumping is on here, the Chumbawamba song, and like the guy totally gets the lyrics wrong. My wife picked up this, Leslie Gore, Golden Hits. I used to have this on LP and I got rid of it for some reason. I've always loved this cover art. Looks very punk to me. Oh, my wife saw this and goes, ugh, disgusting. I go, oh, I gotta get that. It's the Howard Stern Private Parts soundtrack, which has Rob Zombie, Flea, Dave Navarro, and Chad Smith. Porno for Pyros, Marilyn Manson. Ozzy Osbourne with Typo Negative. Green Day, Ramones. Deep Purple, Cheap Trick, Ted Nugent, Van Halen, AC/DC. It's like totally like douche guy rock, but I think it'll be fun. Another thing that I've been working on, that was just my little thrifting haul. So, oh yeah, no, I'm getting distracted. So I've been doing a lot of like buying and flipping of DVDs and CDs, usually making like a maybe 50% profit on a lot of that stuff, which is like, it's not a lot of money, but it is money and it's fun. I have a lot of fun finding stuff, putting it in my collection, ripping it, making a backup, and then flipping it. Rip it and flip it. So I got to do a bunch of eBay packages, actually. That's something that, like, I have this table set up, and I have my alcohol and, like, a mixing dish and a bunch of other stuff because I've been removing old stickers from PlayStation games and shit like that. Oh, God. Too much stuff. Another thing I just finished recently was this, which is a compilation of songs that my friend Sam Egan and I put together. It's called A Compromising Situation. It's a comp of punk music on cassette. And here we have liner notes that explain the origins of each song or a little bit about the bands. I don't know if this is going to focus. I don't really know how this works, this camera. Oh, there it goes. So this was just a test print to make sure that the font was still legible. So this will actually be a longer piece of paper, double-sided, that will be folded up and stuck in here. And we'll be releasing this very soon on Bandcamp and cassette. This is a project we've been, putting these songs together for like 10, 12 years. Bouncing this idea around, let's put these songs out, like let's make a comp of like all these like weird oddities we found. It's like nuggets or something, like the Garage Rock compilation series. Oh, and the tapes were made in Canada, in case you're curious. So that will be coming out very soon. So that's a project I've been working on for a long time that is finally, we wrote up all the liner notes, everything came together. Recently was the Fantagraphics sale where you like got store credit back on everything you bought, basically up to a certain, price point. So I got Bad Gateway, Simon Hanselman? I don't know how you pronounce their name. But maybe you know this comic. I feel like there's a lot in here I probably shouldn't put in a video, but I love this series. I think it's a lot of fun. Genuinely makes me laugh. Not in the Fantagraphics sale, but I also got this copy of Get Down on It on VHS on a yellow tape. So I'm gonna rip that soon. It's a comedy, and according to the few reviews I can find, apparently it's pretty fun. I got the Fletcher Hanks collection, soft cover. Fletcher Hanks was doing Weirdo comics a long time ago. They've been beautifully reproduced in this book here. Stoked about that. And I got Crash Pad by Gary Panter. You can see some of this here. Now this actually came with, I didn't look into this, I just love him, so I was like, oh, yep, I'm gonna pick up his new book and check it out. Purposely didn't look too far into it when it was being first advertised. But inside, there's a little envelope, and there's a smaller version of the same book, which, all right, I can't get it out from this angle. But anyway, there's a smaller, floppy, comic book version of the same book, which is so odd. I love his little glyph on the back here. Yeah, it just struck me as very odd. I don't know if I bought the artist edition and then it came with a second one. Anyway, so I'm going through discs, I'm ripping discs, I'm flipping discs, I'm flipping some other stuff. Everything's above board and legal. I just mean electronics and things, instruments, effects pedals. I have also been finding some time to play guitar. I've been working on a new sound. Trying to make as heavy of a sound as I can get out of playing with only one or two fingers, because I'm trying to do something a lot more simplified, because I don't have a lot of mental bandwidth for making more complicated chords and stuff, honestly. These were also $1 each. King of New York, special edition, 2-disc. It's got a Abel Ferrara documentary on it. It's got a couple documentaries about Abel Ferrara. Featurette on Schoolie D, commentaries. This is so cool. I love this movie. If you like Christopher Walken, you ever seen this? You gotta watch this. This is really fun. Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness, the director's cut. Official bootleg edition. Oh, there's a spot. I just thought this was fun packaging. I think this is an Army of Darkness director's cut. It looks like it was, homemade. This is a fun thing. I've never seen this cut, so I'm curious. I love that movie. Cool. I used to love that movie when I was a kid. I have to see how it holds up. Also, I got Transformation of America. Transformation of America is the documented autobiography of a victim of government mind control. Kathy O'Brien is the only vocal and recovered survivor of the CIA's MK-Ultra Project Monarch mind control operation. Chiseled deep into the white stone of the CIA's Langley, Virginia headquarters is a partial verse lifted from the Holy Bible and writings of St. John. Quote, "And the truth shall make you free." This statement, like the agency, is total reality. The building that it is engraved upon houses the world's most successful manufacturer of lies to facilitate psychological warfare. The, quote, company, unquote, uses truth and technology as their raw materials to produce pure lies for control of you and America's allies. With the pages of Transformation of America, you'll find the truth. So the game I'm working on touches on this topic quite a bit, and I love finding any writings on this. Oh my god, this looks like it's a lot of, oh man, and it's got this kind of stuff. This is perfect research materials for my game. Not that it's directly about this specifically, but it's in this realm, you know what I mean? The other books I've been using for reference, I think I've talked about these before, but I have the Chicken Hawk and Programmed to Kill, Dave McGowan. This is Simon Dovey? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Sorry. So one issue I'm having as I do this is I'm realizing I was going to put some packages together. I don't have packing materials anymore. I use them all. So this idea has totally flopped. But that's okay. I just wanted to get some kind of quick update and share some thrifting finds, talk about the vlog video, talk about where the game is at. So, the biggest thing for me right now is getting money together for the game and building it layer by layer. I'm hesitant to say too much, but like right now I have this like vision of a small town based largely on the small town where I live. Well, it's a micro city actually, but it's incorporated as a city. And I have a story I want to tell, and I have ideas for puzzles and interactions and story beats, but I also really want to just get the whole thing constructed and then kind of find the fun in between all the story beats. Like here's the path as you're going, oh, it's like, I'm over here. Oh, now I'm over here. There's like a few little distractions over here. And does this relate back to this thing that was over here? Trying to find ways to make it so it's not just, even though it is a very linear story, if instead of just going beat, 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 you can go story beat over here, figure out something else, do something else, do something else, do something else, story beat, do. So not necessarily side quests, because there really is only one main quest objective. It's just there's other stuff to experience in that world. And maybe it would be fair to the player to track those things in some way, but also, I don't know. I'm not sure about that yet, because I don't want it just to be like a, check the boxes, But these are the questions that will be answered once the game is further into development. Right now, the main thing is getting the, first initial version of the demo done for June, which it's very close. I've just been going back and forth on like, oh, maybe I'll cut this for time, maybe I'll cut that for time, maybe I'll do this way, But the other things are just making money to pay the artist working on the character models. And then I want to collaborate with them again to redo all the environmental art. So basically I'm going to have them do a pass, bounce it back to me, I'll do some work on it, bounce it back to them, and we'll figure out, I'm spitting as I talk, we'll figure out what that looks like for us as we go forward. And so much of it is so just out of focus, if that makes sense. It's like I see it in the horizon and I'm getting toward it, but until I get closer, it's hard to really make out the fine details of the thing. But I feel very confident about the whole project. I feel really good about it. Like I'm not overwhelmed or uncertain or anything. The only thing I am overwhelmed by is just needing to make more money, just having to hustle. I hate doing it. I've done it before, I'll do it again, but I'm just not in the mood because also winter is finally ending where I live. It's been so cold for so long. We have such a short, respite from winter in this area that, I don't know, maybe I'll move, I don't know. But, it puts you in a different mindset where you don't want to be, you want to be outside, you want to be feeling it, you want to be doing some nice stuff, open the windows, get the sun on your skin, Maybe I can monetize having fun. Oh wait, that's what I'm doing with this game and all this channel and all this bullshit. No, I'm kidding. It's just like not where my head is at. My head isn't like in the focus mode right now. It's like, it's going, ooh, warm. I'm gonna have to go just take inventory of what packing materials I need because I don't want to overspend on that stuff. The other thing I'll say is I've been playing Pragmata over the weekend. Pragmata? I don't know how you pronounce it. It's like a 9 or 10 for me. Capcom killed it once again. It is very similar to Control, in my opinion, in the sense like, the exploration, navigation, and the way the combat happens in these bursts where you're fighting groups of enemies. Yeah, really powerful stuff. I like it a lot. Fun storytelling, not too deep on the lore story, but still, there is like a story there, but it's not, I guess, not too deep is the wrong word. It's not so dense. It's not like there's like a million, things to keep track of. Like, it's some big picture concepts, which maybe there'll be some reveals as we go on, I think, but I'm like 10 hours in. I love it. Metroidvania style exploration is part of it, which is, recalls Control for me. But yeah, just fun 3D platforming, and then the mix of puzzle, hacking minigame, and third-person shooting works so much smoother than I thought it would. The enemy movement is a lot slower than in other games, so it's a little bit more like Resident Evil 4 which to me is also almost like a puzzle game in the sense that like enemies are moving at this slower rate and you can't move when you're shooting. So like you can't walk when you're shooting. So you got to kind of like really strategize, similar again also to Alan Wake, I think, where you're always getting flanked. So you really got to like, okay, a little bit of resource management, like how can I triangulate myself so I'm like in and out of here? And it's not just like, oh, I'm just shooting and bashing and shooting and bashing. You know what I mean? There's some games where it's like, oh, like the combat encounters just feel, they're paced in such a way and you're surrounded in such a way that they have like a more nuanced vibe than just like a straight up hack and slash where you can just go, So anyway, strongly recommend it. And I have this other idea for a video that I want to do very soon where it's like a bigger, more in-depth update that's a little more formal up on the main channel, but I just wanted to throw something up over here on the Hidden Machine Annex to say what's up and to give a brief update, okay? Even though it's like a half-hour long video. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble, okay? Bye-bye, bye-bye.